All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to to my channel. Today, I want to talk to y'all and kind of do a review of the Quicksilver One card from Capital One. Now, this credit card right here is a little bit different from their flagship one. They kind of trick you up a little bit, and that's kind of why I wanted to go over this one. The Quicksilver One gives you 1.5% cash back on every purchase you make. Here's the kicker though. This one has an annual fee. And this one is marketed toward people with worse credit, so basically they can be able to make more money off of you. So that's why they charge the annual fee. But the way they got it named, if you ain't paying attention, you'll think it's the Quicksilver, which has no annual fee, and apply for this one, and then end up having to pay a $39 annual fee. So that's why we're going over this one, and I'm talking about it and kind of highlighting it. But this is the Quicksilver one. Some of the benefits: first of all, 1.5% cash back on your purchases. It's not bad. Okay, here's what I was talking about: the annual fee of $39. So that's not a high annual fee, but still, it's an annual fee for a card that's only giving you 1.5% cash back. If you can get a card that gives you 1.5 or 2% with no annual fee, do that before you do this. I mean, this is mainly a card, like I said, that was built for people with bad credit as a way for Capital One to basically make a little bit more money. So, which it's not like they ain't making a lot of money off of people that ain't paying attention, anyways. But you know, more moolah. So the annual fee of $39, and then the purchase APR on this is basically, they always do this, but it's basically 27% interest. So if you carry a balance from month to month on this card, get ready. You are fixing to get ripped a new one. Again, I stress this a lot when it comes to credit cards. Don't carry a balance. Don't do it. It's not worth it. You'll go broke and make your bank a lot of money. Don't do it. But let's get in here to some of the standard stuff. Basically, after 6 months, they'll review your credit card account, and if they basically like what they see, they may give you a credit limit increase. Now, the credit limit increases on this card is going to be small. If they give you one, it may be like $500, maybe $1,000. It's not going to be very big limits at all. The reason why is because they don't want to give you a lot of credit, then you ring the bill all the way up and can't pay it back. And then they're basically stuck with a loss on the books. It makes more sense for them to just give you a little bit and then see if you can not spend it all and go broke. So, but they will review your credit card account and give you limit increases every now and then. So, I mean, that's good. And then this is one of the things I like about Capital One, which a lot of banks nowadays are doing this, or most of them are doing this, is they'll give you access to their version of your credit scores. Now, it's not completely accurate because number one, it's probably a different type of credit score because it's what they call an informational credit score. So the way they calculate is different, and it's not the highest tier credit score, like say for example a mortgage score. So your numbers that they show you, they're close, but they may not be completely accurate. And then, of course, fraud coverage. Like if a charge gets on your card, you can call in and say, "Look, this ain't something. This ain't something that I bought," and they'll basically give you your money back. So that's nice. And then mobile payment. That's just where you can walk up there with your card and just don't even have to swipe it. And then let's see. And then here's how you can redeem it back. You can use it to your cash back. You can use it to cover your purchase or get it as a statement credit. You can get it a couple of different ways, but I mean it's 1.5%. That's not you'd have to spend a lot of money to make a whole lot back. But then we get here. This is just kind of some of the stuff that they give you, which I mean, they're going to, every credit card company is going to give most of this stuff to you. Then we get down here into the meat of the matter. The meat of the matter. Rates and fees information. For the love of God, anytime you, any kind of loan, credit card, or anything, bank account, it don't matter what it is. You always look down here in the accounts terms and you read every bit of it you can. Because this stuff right here is what determines whether you're getting ripped off or not. So, to start off at the top box, annual percentage rate, 26.99%. That's 27% a year. That's high. APR for cash advances, same rate. Paying interest. Always read this right here, because if you get a credit card that's kind of like a really crappy credit card, they may not have this. But this states that your due date is at least 25 days after the close of each billing cycle. So once the monthly bill closes and they give you a monthly bill statement, you got 25 days from the date that bill cut to pay it before you start racking up interest. And when I say pay it, you have to pay it off in full. If you just pay a little bit, they're going to charge you interest on the remaining balance. So that's why I say pay it off. And then read this right here as part of this. We will begin charging interest on cash advances and transfers on the transaction date. What that means is if you go to the ATM and pull cash off this card, they're going to charge you this cash advance APR of 26.99 immediately the very same day. You don't get this 25 days of grace period if you take a cash advance or a balance transfer. They're not going to give it to you. So just be wary of that, and really don't ever take a cash advance unless you got really good reasons to do it. It just, financially, it doesn't make sense. And then, of course, right here, annual fee, $39 annually. This is where this card is marketed to people with crappy credit. So they're going to want more money. And then transaction fees for right here, the transfer. What this is referring to is balance transfers. Let's say I got a balance on card A and I want to move it to card B. Well, when you initiate the transfer from card A to card B is going to charge you, according to them, 3% of the balance that's transferred. So that 3% amount, let's say it's $100. That would be like $3 transfer fee is what they're going to charge you. And then the cash advance fee right here, if you go to ATM and take cash out, they're going to charge you $10 on the cash out. So let's say I withdraw $20 out, they're fixing to add a $10 charge on top of it. So they'll charge me $30 to take out $20. Or 3% of the cash advance. Now the only way they do the 3% is if the 3% of the amount is bigger than $10. So if you're going to do a cash advance, it makes sense to take out quite a bit and not pay the $10. Just pay the 3% because it's cheaper that way. Still, don't do it, but that's cheaper than paying the $10 to pull out $20. Then we get into right here, penalty fees. They only got one penalty fee, and that's just a late payment fee. You pay 1 day late, they're gonna slap you a $40 fee. So pay your bill on time or early. Preferably pay your bill weekly. I mean, that way you don't ever have to deal with this crap, and you'll actually watch your accounts. And then down here in this stuff, they just tell you what are your rights, how they calculate the math, and just anything else that you're kind of curious about and you may not fully understand, they break it down more here. And then that's just kind of, they go through basically what we all talked about. And then right here, things you should know about this rewards program. Always, always, always read into the rewards program because it explains how the cashback works, what happens if you close the account, and what happens if you violate their terms of service, and how they can revoke your cash rewards. So, read through this, make sure you understand it because this right here, if you ain't paying attention, they can get you on this. And then, then it just breaks down into legal jargon and stuff. So, okay, here's an interesting deal. This applies to balance transfers. According to their terms here, when can I request transfer? You may request a transfer 10 days after your account is open. Okay? What that means is you get the card, you got to wait 10 days before you can get a balance transfer. They're not going to give you a balance transfer before then. So just be aware of that. Then they break into it. Military Lending Act. Notice if you're a veteran or active military, read into the Military Lending Act and make sure you understand it because some things that apply to civilians is a little bit different on the military side. You may get more benefits and stuff, but also there may be certain restrictions that don't apply to us that may to you. So check into that and make sure you're reading through the fine print. Don't get got by fine print. It ain't fun. And then if you're in any of these specific states, different rules may apply. So make sure that you check that out and make sure your state ain't got any funky rules. And then it just gives a little bit of information. So that's kind of the basic information about it. And that's just a basic overview of the Quicksilver 1 from Capital One. Okay, if I was to do a rating on it, let's say I got a rating system and great's over here and terrible's here, I'm putting the Quicksilver 1 like about right here. It's not bad, but again, it's got an annual fee. They're going to charge you money just to hold the card. So I'm like, it's not really. If your credit's like really, really horrible and this is all you can get, makes sense for a very short time until you can get something better. But my rating on this, from a 1 being terrible to a 10 being really great, I give this like a 3. It's not terrible. It's not a Credit One bank type of card by any means. But again, the fact that it has an annual fee knocks it down on my list personally. So that's kind of my opinion. That's kind of my overview of the Capital One Quicksilver 1 card. If you need a credit card, look into it, but I mainly wanted to go over this because this card is different from one of their flagship cards by almost the same name. That's Capital One Quicksilver. So just be aware of that. And with that said, y'all have a good one.